Well, good evening. This is Gina Tadella. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I live here in Poulsbo, Washington. And tonight I'm going to create 2 cards using this cute Snowman hug stamp set. And this is a last chance item, so this is available while supplies last. This was in the mini catalog. So anyway, I'm going to show you a couple things created with this. This is easy coloring, fine line stamp set. It is made out of the red rubber. And I'll go ahead and get it mounted. Hopefully this one will fit on here. It will. I had a glue bugger there. There we go. And mount this one. Love the cool shades. Alright. Get that one mounted. And then I'll put this on the grid paper so I make sure I get it straight. There we go. Okay. Alrighty, so let me show you the paper that we're using. I'm using Misty Moonlight as one of the card bases. And I'm going to give you the measurements. This is 4 1/4 by 11. So when it's 8 1/2 by 11, you're just going to cut at 4 1/4. And this makes your horizontal card base. I'm going to go ahead and fold this. And move this one out of the way. Now I usually press in the center, and then you can use your fingers to go up and down. But if you have a bone folder, then you can just take that and go up and down. And I usually flip it over and do the same thing. That's still a little dimensional for me today. Okay. And then this is the paper, which is on the last chance list while supplies last. And this is strips I had left over, so you can always use them. And it's going to go right here. So, for what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and stamp. I'm going to turn it over on the back side so I know not to go too far. And we're going to ink up with Memento Black Tuxedo Pad. And since I haven't used this stamp tonight, it's the first time, I'm priming it, and it hasn't had ink on it before, so I always ink it up, stamp, good deal. And I think this pad needs to be re-inked, so let's move that one out of the way and bring in the other one. That was pretty light. Yeah, this one's nice and inked. And whenever the stamp is bigger than the ink pad, you always want to bring the pad to the stamp. And reline that back up. And I'm going to put them right down here at the bottom. And lift up. Very nice. And then we have this nice saying, sending warm hugs and happiness. I'm going to stamp that right at the top. There we go. Now I'll close the pad up. And we'll go ahead and mount this to the card base before we do the coloring. So we'll flip this back over. So this is not the side I'm using. I'm going to be using this side. So get my multi-purpose glue out. Hello, Linda. Thanks for joining, my dear. So this piece is just a scrap piece. Is what I had left over. And it is measured at 1 1/2 by 4. And this white piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And you'll need 2 pieces of the white, because one you want for the inside of the card. But first mount this piece to this first before you mount it to that one. Just going to add some glue. Try not to get too close to your edge. Alright, come on, glue. That's what happens. Let's get the glue butter. Yep. Exactly. Okay, let's see if I can get it to come out now. Yeah, there we go. Oh, of course, it's going to come out nice and freely now, see? Alrighty. And this is going to go to corner, just like that. I'll be working on my Christmas cards this weekend. Finishing up making and getting them addressed and mailed out. So, there we go. So, Linda, do you have all your Christmas cards done? Or even addressed or mailed? I've already received 4 from several people. One was Alice, Gail, and Sherry McLaughlin. And I've used this DSP before, so this is just the scrap pieces. So we got that done. So now we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of coloring. This one doesn't have a lot, so we don't have to do that much. But I am going to go ahead and color out the little flowers. I'm going to use Lemon Lolly. And I'm going to use that on his hat. Because you wouldn't want tan. You want it to go ahead and coordinate with this DSP. But this goes good. And then what I'm going to do is just go across the rim to make it a little bit darker. And top to top. There's that. And of course I brought in Wink Estella. So we're going to use that on him afterwards. Then we're going to use Granny Apple Green, the light colored. And I'm going to use that on a couple of the feathers of this cute bird. And then some blues. Of course I got to bring in a little bit of the yellow. There we go. And then I'm using, what is that? Okay, boho blue. Finish him off. I don't want to color his eye. I'm going to leave his eye undone. But this is an easy item to color. There we go. Okay. And then we'll color his shirt. And then, of course, we're going to use big red on the little blossoms. There we go. Oh, you already got yours done and mailed out? Good for you, Linda. Good for you. Do you have any family coming, or you have plans for the holidays? Color around his sleeve here. Try not to hit the flowers. Or his belly. There we go. Oh, gotcha. Your family lives out of state. That makes perfect sense. So we're going to go ahead and do these flowers. Now he's got a lay on, so I'm going to do them in a different color. Because otherwise they'll just blend right in. Because at first I thought it was part of the shirt, but it's not. There we go. Even though this is a fine line, it is an easy coloring, so I usually steer clear of those real detailed ones because it's just too much. Bold line or something like this. Okay, we're going to give him not a red eye. No, no, no. Okay, and I'm going to, I got tan. Light pecan pie. We're going to do his arms, their branches. There we go. Get that branch. And then come over here and do this branch. Alright. I'm trying to think of what do I have out here that's... Okay, we'll use a pretty in pink. Then we'll go back and put little red dots on them. So that kind of matches like the centers of the flower. There we go. I don't think I have any orange for his nose. So, doggone it. I think I got Flirty Flamingo will work. I'll use that. And use it on the beak. Okay, and then I will just highlight that cheek in light pretty pink, and then use some, let's see, where's the blue? Here's the azure afternoon, give his eye, that way it stands out. Okay, now I'm going to use the Winka Stella, and then you want to shake it and press, and I'm just going to highlight just mainly the bottom. I'm not going to do whole body. Oh, good. So you got to see some flowers. So here is this one. Very easy and simple to do. So let's go to the next one. Okay, what do I do with my paper? I dropped it all. Yep. Hold up. That's what I heard crashing. Okay. So see, remember the side of that paper I used? So we're going to use this one. And the measurements are the same. This is shaded spruce, 4 1/4 by 11. 4 by 5 1/4, and 1 1/2 by 4. Okay, so let's fold this piece first. So you can do it with your finger. Just remember to go back and do it on the other side too. Okay, so we want to stamp this out. So I want my good side turned over. So when I go to stamp this out, and he's so cute. Him and the rabbit. He's sharing a carrot. Okay, let me move this over here out of the way. Why? Prime this I'm glad I bought me a couple new more memento pads because these are about had it. And whenever you're coloring with the Stampin' Blends, you have to use the memento pad. Okay. Then we're going to stamp this there. And then in that stamp set, there's some snow. I need to pull that out. I forgot to pull that out. Okay. So I'll put a couple areas of snow across. There we go. I don't know why I keep closing it. I gotta use it again. Silly me. I gotta stamp the thing. There we go. Now you could make a soft blue sky using your blending brush if you wanted to, but I'm just showing the simple stamping. So let's get this glued together first before we do the coloring. I flipped it over. I almost put the glue on the wrong side. Wouldn't have been a smart choice there. I'm going to mount that to this one. Hold it in place just for a moment. I'm going to flip this over. And mount that. There we go. I'm going to close that glue up. Now we're going to go ahead and start coloring him. And I'm going to use a light Bermuda Bay. I'm going to do that on his plaids and the top, that little part of his hat. Oops, better use a writer's tip. It's too big of a brush there. Oh, the stamp set, Linda? It's Snowman Hugs. It's on the last chance list. It was in the mini catalog. And today is the last day for free shipping, so I took advantage of it yesterday, and a couple of my ladies did too, so. Because I had to get some supplies. Stuff I used up. Now I'm having to be careful because I don't want it to go outside the lines. We want to show the vest, and it's going to be I'm not going to color the whole vest. I'm just doing the lines to show the plaid. He's got a bow tie, too. Handsome little devil. I'm trying not to get his stick arms colored in green. There's that side. I saw that. Yeah. You're welcome, my dear. Oops, I almost forgot that part there. One more plaid line. There we go. And then, where's that light one? There it is. Makes it look sharp. I'm going to go back with a fine tip so I can do a little bit of shadowing because I don't want to go outside. There we go, and then do his top hat. The good thing is these didn't really need, they don't have a lot of coloring, which is wonderful. That way I can shade it, and it gives a little bit of a highlight of darker on one side. There we go. And then he's got buttons, but I want the buttons to stand out, so I've got to make them a little bit darker. I don't know if I've got a gray. That's light. Let's see if I got the darker gray. Yeah, smoky slate. That'll work. That highlights it. That makes it better. And then because he's got buttons down here. Alright. And the bunny, I'm just going to have a light pink cheek and inside the ears. And then I'm going to use a light pecan pie for his arms. That's what I used on the other one earlier. Where's that flirty flamingo? There. There it is. And just highlight those shaded areas. I know I got the card turned upside down. Sorry. Alright, and I think we're going to go with the smoky slate for the bow tie. I think it needs to be darker so it stands out and it matches his buttons. And of course he needs this smile highlighted. There we go. And then we'll use the light gray granite on the little bunny. And that's it. And then we get Stella. We'll leave his tail white. There we go. That's why I colored his cheek first. And then we'll highlight some of this area so it's darker. There we go. We'll go ahead and bring in the Wink of Stella. And do the snow. The snow drifts. If you don't see that you're getting any of the Wink of Stella come out, just remember to squeeze on the side and then brush and coat. So there is that. So there's that one. Aren't they cute? So here they both are. Very easy. Not hard at all. These are great for kids to create as well. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining in, honey. You can start back and watch from the replay if you missed the first part. It gives the measurements. Thank you, ladies. I'll be back here on Friday, the last one for the year, and demonstrating something fun as well. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do thank you cards or something else for Christmas. I will decide and let you see on Friday at 7 p.m. Bye-bye. Take care.